My name is not famous. I am not a movie star, a billionaire, or a world champion. I am simply a person with dreams, hopes, and challenges. My story may seem ordinary, but it taught me lessons that changed my life forever. Today, I want to share my journey because it might inspire others to believe in themselves and never give up. When I was a child, I often looked at successful people and wondered how they achieved so much. I saw doctors helping patients, teachers inspiring students, entrepreneurs building businesses, and athletes breaking records. They all seemed special. I believed that success belonged only to people who were smarter, richer, or luckier than me. As I grew older, I faced many difficulties. Sometimes I did not have enough resources. Sometimes I lacked confidence. There were days when I felt that my dreams were too big and my abilities were too small. Whenever I failed at something, I became discouraged. I compared myself with others and thought that I would never be as successful as they were. One day, I received poor results on an important test. I had studied hard, but the outcome was disappointing. I felt embarrassed and sad. I remember sitting alone and thinking, maybe I am not good enough. That thought stayed in my mind for many days. However, something happened that changed my perspective. An elderly teacher noticed that I looked unhappy. He called me after class and asked, "Why do you look so worried?" I told him about my poor results and my fear of failure. The teacher smiled and said, "Do you know how a tree grows?" I looked at him with confusion and replied, "It grows from a seed." "Exactly," he said. A seed spends a long time underground before anyone sees its growth. During that time, it develops roots. Without strong roots, the tree cannot survive storms. Your failures are building your roots. His words touched my heart. That day, I realized that failure was not the end of the journey. It was part of the journey. Every mistake could teach me something valuable if I was willing to learn. From that moment, I decided to change my attitude. Instead of fearing failure, I started treating it as a teacher. Whenever I made a mistake, I asked myself, what can I learn from this? The results were not immediate. Progress was slow. Sometimes I still felt discouraged. But I continued moving forward. I created small goals for myself. Instead of focusing only on huge achievements, I focused on daily improvement. I read books, learned new skills, practiced English, and developed better habits. At first, the changes were almost invisible. But after several months, I noticed something interesting. I was becoming more confident. The things that once seemed difficult were becoming easier. One of the biggest challenges in my life was learning to believe in myself. Many people think confidence comes before success. In reality, confidence often comes from effort. Every time I completed a difficult task, I gained a little more confidence. Every time I overcame a challenge, I became stronger. There was a period when I wanted to quit. Life became stressful. Problems appeared from different directions. Some people criticized me. Others doubted my abilities. One evening, I sat alone and asked myself a difficult question: should I continue, or should I give up? The easy choice would have been to quit. Quitting would remove the pressure and the fear of failure. But deep inside, I knew that if I gave up on my dreams, I would regret it for the rest of my life. So I made a promise to myself. I promised that I would continue, even if progress was slow. I promised that I would continue, even when nobody noticed my efforts. I promised that I would continue, even when success seemed far away. That promise became my source of strength. As time passed, opportunities began to appear. They were not huge opportunities. They were small chances to learn, grow, and improve. I accepted them one by one. I volunteered for projects. I learned from experienced people. I practiced new skills. I stepped outside my comfort zone. Every experience taught me something valuable. One day, I realized that I had become a different person from the one I used to be. I was no longer afraid of challenges. I was no longer controlled by self-doubt. I understood that growth happens when we face difficulties, not when we avoid them. Another important lesson came from observing successful people. I discovered that most successful individuals were not perfect. They made mistakes. They faced rejection. They experienced failure. The difference was that they kept going. Many people see the final result of success but do not see the years of effort behind it. A beautiful building may take years to construct. A skilled musician may practice thousands of hours before performing on a stage. A successful business may survive countless failures before becoming profitable. Success is usually a long journey rather than a single moment. This realization changed my mindset completely. Instead of asking, "How quickly can I succeed?" I began asking, "How much can I learn today?" Learning became more important than winning. Growth became more important than perfection. Effort became more important than immediate results. As my mindset improved, my life improved as well. I became more disciplined. I became more patient. I became more grateful. I started appreciating small victories. Completing a difficult task became a victory. Learning a new word became a victory. Helping another person became a victory. These small victories created positive momentum in my life. One of the most meaningful experiences happened when I helped a younger student who lacked confidence. The student reminded me of myself. He often said, "I can't do it." I shared my story with him and encouraged him to keep trying. Weeks later, he returned with a smile and told me that he had achieved something he once thought was impossible. At that moment, I understood another powerful truth: our journeys are not only about ourselves. When we overcome challenges, we inspire others to do the same. Our courage can become someone else's motivation. Our persistence can become someone else's hope. Today, I still face challenges. Life is not perfect. There are still obstacles, uncertainties, and difficult days. But I no longer see these challenges as enemies. I see them as opportunities to grow. Every challenge teaches me resilience. Every setback teaches me patience. Every failure teaches me wisdom. Most importantly, every new day gives me another chance to improve. If there is one message I would like every reader to remember, it is this: never underestimate the power of consistent effort. You do not need to be extraordinary to begin. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need everyone to believe in you. You only need the courage to take the first step. A small step taken today is better than a perfect plan that is never started. The road to success may be long, but every journey begins with a single step. Whenever you feel discouraged, remember the seed growing underground. Even when nobody can see your progress, growth may still be happening. Your efforts are creating roots. Your struggles are building strength. Your patience is preparing you for future success. Believe in yourself. Keep learning. Keep improving. Keep moving forward. One day, you will look back and realize that the difficult moments were not stopping you, they were shaping you into the person you were meant to become. And when that day comes, you will understand that your story was never about becoming famous or perfect. It was about becoming stronger, wiser, kinder, and more confident than you were yesterday. That is the true meaning of success. And that is the story of my journey, An ordinary dreamer who learned that extraordinary things can happen when a person refuses to give up.